I'd like to introduce Frederico Schmidt, who's the General Manager of Vipal Europe. And Frederico's topic is Retrading is the Future, Sustainability and Innovation. Frederico.
Thank you. Thank you very much, David. Thank you very much. First, I'd like to thank the organization, the TTC, and Retrading Business Magazine for the opportunity of talking about the future or our view in the future of retreading. When we think, or when you think about the future of retreading, what comes to your mind? I guess you have all the answers done already for the previous panel, right? They abord a lot of the subjects that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be bringing into this presentation some of them, and also talk about some of the key points that we believe is associated with retreading and sustainability. I'm going to start with a short presentation about Vipal Rubber for those who doesn't know us. Then I'm going to get into the details of retreading in the future. Also the specific initiatives that Vipal has been doing regarding sustainability. And finishing up, we're going to be talking about some of the points regarding retreading worldwide. Vipal Rubber was founded in 1973 in Nova Prata, Brazil. And since then, we've been working in expanding our business and focusing in the retreading industry. We have branches in several countries nowadays. And last year, we are the winners of 3 categories of Retrading Recycle Awards. And one of them was Fabrizio Nedef as the Employee of the Year. We have nowadays 7 industrial units, 5 of them located in Brazil, 1 in Argentina, and 1 in USA. Our physical structure is over 220,000 metric square meters. We have a installed capacity of over 20,000 metric tons per month, and we are over 3,000 employees. We also have 7 administrative centers and 14 distribution centers located in North America, South America, Europe, and Oceania. We also are present in over 90 countries across 6 continents. Over the years, with acquired knowledge and technical information, we founded the university, Vipal University, which is training on average 5,000 students per year in courses has technical, commercial, and management, all accredited courses. We also have one of the most innovative research and technology centers on the sector, comprised of 13 labs, and we do over 28,000 tests per year. Retreading is the future. When we talk about retreading, we know that retreading is a safe and sustainable global practice that gives a new life to the tires. It's applied in a wide range of equipment, from passenger tires, light truck tires, buses, trucks, agricultural, OTR, and even aircrafts and commercial aircrafts. Interesting fact is that right now, over 80% of the tires being used in commercial airlines are retread tires. Retreading is very essential for the commercial tire industry. If you use high-quality products for retreading, it's going to give a performance similar to high-quality new tires. That helps to reduce the cost of the life tire of the life cycle of the tire too. You can give multiple retreads. For instance, there are some markets that the average is 2 or 3 lifetimes. If you look at USA, where they retread roughly 16 million tires per year on the truck tires, they have a ratio between retread tires and replacement new tires of around 0.7%. If you look at Europe, that number is around 0.3. And even though the market size in Europe of it is around 1.2 billion euros. If you think about the second largest market of retreading globally, which is Brazil, just the savings for the transport industry account for 1.3 billion euros based on the 2019 numbers. The retreading and the environment are very related. Reducing consumption of natural resources, lowering the environmental impact is one of the key points of tire retreading. If we compare manufacturing a new tire with a retread tire and looking at the commercial tire and passenger tires, retreads need much fewer natural resources to be made. If you compare to a low-end non-retreadable tire, a retread tire enables the following savings. Resources extraction around 70%, not only in oil, but also related to steel to make the casings. 29% reduction in land use, also 24% reduction in CO2 emissions, 21% in reduction in air pollution when we talk about the particulates emission, and also 19% in water consumption. If you take this information into the context and look at US, like I mentioned, which is one of the biggest retread markets in the world, retreading around 16 million tires per year, and then we look at the numbers of 2022 and the impact that it causes, the energy savings related to retreading could power over 1.1 million homes in a year, saves 1.3 billion liters of oil, and also divert landfill waste of around 300,000 metric tons. It's important to emphasize that quality is key. In the previous panel, quality was one of the main subjects that I was talked to that was necessary in tire retreading. Quality starts in the new tire. Without having a quality new tire, you're not gonna have retreads. So it's very important to have tires designed, new tires being designed to have multiple lives. If you have quality, quality is directly related with safety of those tires too. So having more quality on the new tires, you're gonna have the potential to have quality casings, which will translate into more economy and also sustainable actions. Future sustainability. Here we're gonna talk about some of the initiatives that Vipal is doing towards the products and sustainable initiatives. First, let's look into the tire life cycle. If you don't consider retreading on the tire life cycle, and also in the previous panel they are talking about this subject, you're gonna go from extraction of raw materials, production of them, the use of the new tire, and then it goes to discard. When you add the retreading to this equation, you have this extraction, the production of tire that is designed for multiple retreads, the use of them, the possibility of retreading, you use again, and you can retread even, and this cycle can be expanded depending on the application, and also can last even longer than that. Vipal has been working in several initiatives towards sustainability. Of course, it's a hard work. It needs a lot of research, studies, tests, and implementation on the field to make sure that these products are viable. One of them was related to fuel, saving fuel during application. We launched back in 2009 the first line of pre-cure threads with that we call eco threads towards on the fuel savings related to the use. We found that depending on the application, we could save up to 10% of fuel on using that particular product. In 2013, we also launched pre-cure threads that met the Smart Way program in USA that Richard mentioned before. A part of those studies made possible for us getting into products that nowadays are becoming more important, like electric vehicles, products for electric vehicles. Not only rolling resistance is important for those type of products. The researches that we have done also show us that traction is very important and also performance. So I'm glad to announce that in this trade show we are launching the first pre-cure thread specifically designed for electrical vehicles. Together with low rolling resistance, high performance, we also see there is a necessity. especially when we talk about equipments that nowadays are being used. Compounds with a high wear resistance also give us the opportunity of save in different areas, not only in making the tire last longer, but also in the emission of the particulates. We have also a design called DVRT, where we join these compounds, high performance materials, with tread designs, giving an excellent performance. When we talk about initiatives related to renewable materials, lignin is one of them that Vipal has been researching on. We conducted researches with the universities, local universities in Brazil, for the implementation of lignin as an antioxidant material in our compounds. 2022 was the first year that actually we implemented lignin as a renewable source of material into our manufacturing. Lignin is one of the most abundant organic compounds in the world, and the lignin that we use is coming from 100% renewable sources. Another renewable material that we've been researching on was rice husk ashes, or silica derived by rice husk ashes. In 2021, also in participation with a university from Brazil and also a university from Europe, we start the research in the possible use of precipitated silica as a substitute of carbon black. By 2023, we expanded this research to trials and to see how these products with this type of silica would perform. And this year, we are already implementing them in the regular production of our materials. Another renewable material that we've been working on is regarding vegetable oils. We are doing research on vegetable oils, focusing on changing also the need of using oil derived by petroleum for a new renewable material. We focus our researches in oils like cajun oil, palm oil, and soybean oil for two reasons. One of them, like I said, is because they are renewable materials. And the other one is that using local oils present close to us, we are able to offset the carbon footprint from the upstream of our production. We also work very hard regarding recycled materials, not only for our use. One of the byproducts of our production, the rubber trims from the tread manufacturing, over 20 years ago we started finding solutions how to deal with and divert and avoid them actually to getting into landfills. Since we knew exactly the compounds that we are using, and we separated those rubber trimmings, through the cryogenic process, we generated a high-quality raw material for other industries. It goes into industries like auto car parts, where these leftovers from our production with quality materials get into, like I mentioned, high-value raw materials for them. We are researching at the moment also other ways to recover these leftovers of production. Another recycled material that we've been using is carbon black from pyrolysis. It started in our regular production back in 2016, especially to offset the need of using new oil derived from petroleum and the carbon black from that matter. This year we are planning to increase the usage of the carbon black derived from pyrolysis in the figure of 1.2 thousand metric tons. We also pay attention in other things that are happening, like Steve, from TRIP was mentioning about the 6 ppd in US. We also have done studies regarding to this because the US government requested the industry to come up with solutions to change the need of 6 ppd. Because when exposed to the air can cause, like Steve said, can be harmful to some species of salmon. Vipal, among other companies, already did some studies and proposed to the government of US substitute for this chemical, which is under evaluation. Tire retreading worldwide. We know there is a lot of changes. In the previous panel, they have talked about regulatory changes. Here in Europe, we have a part of the labeling that we've been working for a long time. We have new regulations on the deforestation. We have regulations regarding to the sustainability report. But we see that retreading, as was mentioned, is in its core is a sustainable practice. And for that reason, even though in countries that are still developing retreading, we see a future not only on the sustainable side, but also in the economic side. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Frederico. Are there any questions for Frederico? No, well, okay.
Everybody
well, I'd like to
from
ask
the previous panel too, right?
Pardon?
They have the answer from the previous panel too, right?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you the question of the last question I answered the panel, which was, where do you see the industry in 5 to 10 years' time in terms of sustainability? What do you think it will have achieved? How far can it go by following the sustainability path?
Yes, I believe, like the previous panel mentioned, the whole industry is very aligned.
Yeah.
We definitely need to invest in innovation in the retreading to keep the pace with the new tire development. Like I mentioned, one of the things that is needed is that the new tires also have to be designed for retreading, right? It needs to be the retreading sector nowadays. One of the issues that is happening is the lack of proper casings to be retreaded. So without having a proper new tire designed for retreading, you also have challenges on the retreading side. Sustainability is a must, and we see it's coming. We see here in Europe becoming a very predominant subject in all aspects, not in just the commercial side, but also in the government side. There is other markets like US, as Steve was mentioning, that is also becoming very popular. There is some other markets that are not in the new sustainability yet, but for sure they focus in Europe and they are going to be following this subject. So in order for retreading to prosper, we need to pay attention in the actions, not towards the economic that we already know. Retreading has been based on the economics on the Tyre Life Cycle, but also in the sustainable side.
Excellent. Okay. Are there any questions at all before I close the session? Sorry, I didn't see you. Yeah.
Always me. In your opinion, the labeling of retreaded tires, to what extent could encourage the use of retreaded tires compared to cheap imported ones? The labeling, the
right,
European tire
yes.
label. Yeah.
The labeling is something that has been discussed for several years already. I believe it's very important. You're talking about the labeling that is supposed to be implemented for retreading, or you're talking about the label of the new tire that should be coming?
I'm referring to a possible tire label, but applicable to retreaded tires, because right now they are exempt.
Yeah, the new tires, they already have a label, right? And the label for retreading is a subject that has been a topic for many years. At this stage, we're still working on a proposal, and I mean the whole retreading industry, in a proposal for the European Commission that could, in order to implement the label for the retreading. We believe that labeling for retreading is definitely a need to show to the end user and also to the government that retreading is viable. We know that it's viable, but there is still a lot of misconceptions in the market regarding retreading. So definitely labeling should be something that we are looking for retreading.